Yo, yo, what's good? Truth Hurts. I'm Jeff Weiss.
Rosecrans Vic.
I'm free. What's up?
And we are with the illustrious Jay Worthy.
Worldwide Worthy.
Yeah.
How y'all doing? Yeah.
What up,
How's it going?
Happy to be here with y'all, man. Just chilling.
At the Pro Club HQ.
Yeah.
Familiar with this spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, man. We got a lot of history here with Pro
The
Club.
brand ambassador.
Man, early beginning, definitely.
So I guess I was going to say, first question is, how did you get in touch with George Clinton in the first place?
All right, well, it was crazy. One day, I'm just looking in my DM on Instagram, and I get a DM from George Clinton, and I'm like, nah, wait a minute.
Wait,
this,
what?
wait a second. This can't be. And I'm looking at it, and he's like, yo, 2 peas in a pod was different, and, threw up the funk to me, and I was like, whoa. So that was, 2022? And I don't think we linked until 2024 when he invited me to his show no, wait a minute. I got invited to the movie where there's a movie where like Wiz plays George Clinton, and I went there and I met him in person.
There's a movie where Wiz Khalifa plays
What
George
movie
Clinton.
is this?
Yeah, it was like a big Hollywood production. I went to the theaters. It's like a bunch of people in it. Yeah,
What?
big Hollywood movie.
missed
It's about George Clinton's life?
No, he's one of the characters in it.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
about like many people's life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? From the era, it's like about the 70s. And,
I need to look that up.
yeah, I can't remember the name, but anyways, Wiz
Yeah.
ends up playing him, and that's where I met him. He invited me to that, and then he invited me to his show, which also led to me working with DJ Quick. So when I went there, I'm backstage hanging out with George, and then, George tells Quick, like, hey, this kid's funk right here. He got the ear, and he really know what's up. And I'm sure I've been on Quick's radar a little bit, but he probably just know me more for being who I am in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to respect my, my musicality was another thing. So yeah, George, yeah, man.
That's crazy.
George
yeah.
Clinton.
So what, like, a lot of people probably don't know you've been working on an album with George.
Yes, I'm working on an album with George. It's done. It's amazing.
What's that process like in the studio with him?
Well, it was crazy. He was like, come down to my house in Tallahassee. So I flew to Florida, and, he has his mothership there, which is the studio, which he calls the mothership.
You got to describe this for me first.
So Tallahassee is somewhere, well, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere in
It's
Florida.
it's like a college town.
I guess so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that T-Pain is from Tallahassee.
Right.
Me too.
Right,
I know
right.
that too.
Yeah.
So first time being there, and George's grandson, Xavier, who also does marketing at Death Row. He's the one who like lined it all up. So we go out there, and we show up, and I get the hotel. There's a hotel right across the street from George's studio, so that's where I stayed. And you go to this studio, and this is the same studio I think that he's had since like 1981.
Wow.
Wow.
And he was like, he was telling me like, you probably like, and Kendrick is the only people, like that's where Kendrick went to go do a Pimp a Butterfly with him and do Wesley's Theory and all that over there. And man, it was a great experience.
You sat in the funk vibes.
I sat in there.
like-
We spent a week, and like all the OG Parliament dudes was there. Like I really made like a Parliament Funkadelic album with George. And the thing that I didn't know if George was gonna be down with was his grandson was like, I'm gonna give you all of the stuff that George owns, like outright, which are like his classics. And you know what me and Sean do, like we're big on looping and just, I always believed if the record was a hit then, it's a hit now, and I don't really want to change it. That's always been my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we came there with all my parts done, and I played it for George, and he was like, this is exactly what I wanted somebody to do. And I was like, damn, I succeeded. And then we just got him to go in there and redo parts. I won't let the features out right now. We got some crazy features on there, but yeah, it was a great experience. We documented it all, and I brought my boy Laven Cali. I don't know, y'all familiar with Laven?
He's
so
hard.
his dad is this bass player from George's favorite band called Mother's Finest. And in George's book, he wrote that he wanted Bootsy to be like Wizard, which is Lavin's dad from Mother's Finest, right? And I didn't tell George that they were coming. They were in Atlanta, and they drove up, and I brought them to the session, and this is all on camera, and he walks in the door, and George looks at him, and he goes, "Hey man, you look like Wizard from Mother's Finest." And he's like, "I am Wizard from Mother's Finest." They lost it, and hugged, and then next thing you know, he get the bass out, and we getting him to replay shit.
Holy.
So it was a real experience. You know what I'm saying?
You're keeping like funk alive when you do things like that. Would you ever have imagined like doing that when you started making music?
That to me is the pinnacle. I don't think there's anybody that's more influential than George, even when it just, not even just funk, just when it comes to hip hop.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have Doggy Style and we wouldn't have The Chronic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for the West Coast.
And a lot of the
here,
EPMD shit.
A lot
too.
of the EPMD shit, a lot of De La Soul.
Yeah.
Me,
I mean, and
Myself,
then
I.
you have Roger Troutman, like
got
the extended family.
Of
so,
Parliament.
Yeah.
You know, you can't really put shit, like, there's nothing that can really amaze George. I remember we kicking stories and saying shit, and he's like, yeah, I discovered Prince. You're like, all right.
You win.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just the amount of game and knowledge that you get, and the way that he makes music is the same way. Like, he was telling me a lot of those great records that we all love, the big records, you know, Swing Down Sweet Chariot.
Yeah.
I was like, where'd that come from? He's like, that's an old church song, you
Yeah.
know. Other things, he's like, we was just high as fuck in the tour bus humming shit. The way he did it, I see him. He'll come in, he'll be da 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 da, and then all right, the bass player, boom boom boom, and then he'll hum the keys and the key. So
Crazy.
you know, it was cool to see the process and how things are made.
It's crazy how sharp he still is too.
He's so sharp. He's like, he let me know I was just got off my tour, and then he was like, come on tour with me. So I went and did like half of the George and Parliament Funkadelic tour, which was amazing experience just to be on the road and see that. And I said, this man he just turned 84 like a few weeks ago or maybe a month ago. He's 83, 84 years old, up on stage for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's no excuse. You know, what
Like
I mean?
him and
Did he
Ron
tell you
Wisler
any
the
of,
last two
like-
left.
Yeah,
Him and Ron Wisler the last two left.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so for me, you know, and then just like my dad, you know, my dad raised me on George and P-Funk. So for me to be able to, like, that's something I can go back and FaceTime him and just put the lit right there and let him sit in the session and watch us do it. It's the shit like that like, you know, makes me happy to know I'm, you know, going from, I feel like, you know, I always said this when me and Sean embarked on what we were doing with London Drugs. I said, there's two people that I would like to work with. One would be Alchemist, one would be Currency. I spoke that into existence. And I'm pretty sure I didn't speak it, but I always thought like, man, I need to work with George, and then it happened. So, you know, the funk brought me here, and I'm here to continue it, you know.
Yeah.
And shout outs to everybody else that's contributing to the genre, you know, like Dame, you know, which we put out an album together, and you know, everybody got a little funk in them, you know what I'm saying?
Did he tell you like any of his like his health regimens or anything that's kept him so lively all these years?
Nah, but he partied like a rock star, and I was like, that maybe that kept him.
I mean, like not to put, but like I know 4 different people that went to college in the 2000s and were like, they'd be like, yeah, George Clinton was like pulling rocks out of his hair and shit, like he was like smoking crack, like.
Yeah.
I know I think he's like
He's
close to
open
sober
about
now.
that.
Yeah.
So like he would, you know, you got like, you know, when I work with like, you know, Cube or, you know, other legends that, you know, they all got their crazy George stories and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I think George is really healthy. He swims. One thing I noticed that was so player, me and Quick are sitting in there in his dressing room, and he's like, all right, y'all. He's like, time for y'all to get out of the room. I got my masseuse, like, and he had like a masseuse with him on tour and like get him right. And I think just, you know, swimming and eating well and
Taking care
It's
of
gotta be like
himself.
mental too. 'Cause
mental.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
I think the music, man,
Yeah.
you know, like doing something that you love, and seeing how excited he was to work with us and be like, man, these kids are like, you know, P-Funk babies. Like this
Yeah.
is three generations now. You got to think it was Snoop and them was the second, and now it's like
Yeah.
cats like me and Lavin and
Yeah.
certain people pushing it. You know,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, it is. It is crazy.
Do you remember like the first time like your dad would play you?
Oh, I had so my dad gave me. I've never in my life. I've always felt like it would be kind of corny to ask like my homie was like, man, you going over to see Snoop and going to the compound. Damn, I let that out the bag. So I guess, you know, I got Snoop on the album with George. We did I'll say this here. It was crazy for me. The intro to Doggy Style is George, right? And Snoop never rapped on it. That
Yeah.
beat.
Oh, yeah.
And the intro to me and George's album is that beat without. So I was like, I gotta get Dog to rap
To
on this
rap
shit.
on it once and for all.
That'll
You
be
know,
dope.
like 3
That's
generations
so
of
crazy.
P-Funk. Oh yeah, he put me up, man. He had all the vinyls, the records, and he was like, "This is George." And they, as like a kid, I'm 4 years old, 5 years old. He's showing me like, look how crazy they are. They come out with the spaceship, and
Yeah.
that for a kid, you know what I mean? Like, and if
Yeah.
you talk to any like big homies, you know, from out here, they'll tell you they're all raised on those records because their parents were playing them, and the artwork.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a guy named Overton who drew it, which I met. He actually lives over there with
wow.
George.
Wow.
Yeah. And George's son lived like they like all live in this over there in Tallahassee with
Wow.
George. So the dude that drew those original Parliament records, I remember those covers and just being like, as a kid, being like, wow, these look like cartoons. And so I was like, for my pops, I was like, you know what? I don't like asking people to sign shit.
Yeah.
The homie wanted me to get some shit signed by Snoop. I didn't want that shit, but I had to get George to sign some shit.
Right.
Of course.
For your dad.
For my dad,
That's
you know?
music history.
He has the
Yeah.
liner notes of One Nation Under a Groove, which I don't think many people would have. It's like
Yeah.
So
I was watching random. I was watching Good Burger, and I didn't know he was
he's
in it.
in there.
He's in it.
He's in Good Burger. He's in The Breaks. He's in House Party.
Yeah.
PCU.
He's in PCU. He's in a bunch of TV shows.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Legend, man.
a couple other movies.
No, it's crazy. I remember being a kid, and you're just like, I don't think understood it, but like they used to play Atomic Dog all the time on Power 106 and Flashlight constantly.
Oh, yeah.
It's like twice an hour, like well up to like 2000 probably.
And I think that like our introduction for like our generation was Bop Gun.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Bob. Yeah, right.
You know?
In the video where he's like spinning around.
Yeah. Like to me, that's like my
Totally.
pops would be like, that's who, you know what I'm saying? Like and I'm like, yeah, no, I remember. So just the influence, man, that George has had on the culture is crazy. So for him to be doing an album with me and that being probably his first album that he's gonna put out since, like, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm hyped on it.
Hell yeah.
So when did you like really start rapping? When you were like a kid?
Kid.
You kid?
Yeah, kid. Kid. Me, my boy Mikey and Niall, and then my homies out in Vancouver were very tied in with like the cats from like Project Blowed and the Good Life Cafe. So, you know, like somebody today I was on the phone with Bad Drew and Bad Drew's like, yeah, hey, because I sent AC this record and AC was like, man, I've known Jay Worthy since he's 14. Riddler, LA Cool, they know me since I'm 14 years old. So rapping, yes, since a youngin', but professionally rapping, you know, I would say I don't consider it professional until you start making money. You know what I mean? And that didn't start. I started way later with that.
Till London Drugs?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like when you met Yams? Was that when it kind of started to kick off?
It kicked in because before that, I dropped a project with DJ Mustard called The Lifestyle, and that was just me kind of compiling songs from just different producers and studios that I worked with around here. And at the time, I'd always want to like just rap on loops. I always, even when I was a kid, I was always just loop that up. I think the first song that I made on my own was Hey Love by Stevie Wonder, and I just rapped over that. You know what I'm saying? That got to be like, shit, 2001 or something like that. Yeah, I was 14 or something.
What do you think it was that made you want to rap?
I mean, shit, just being brought up with that in my household and just all the, like, my neighbors and all the older kids around me and just having the physical copies and seeing the shit and going to the record store with my relative and, like, remembering when Illmatic came out. At first, it was only listening to West Coast shit. Then Illmatic came out. Then 36 Chambers came out. Then, I don't know, I just fell in love with that and was like, this is what I always just loved it. So, yeah, and then my homies was rapping. But I was always stage scared and didn't really want to perform, but I had to get over that as time went on. I still get the jitters when I do that shit.
Yeah.
So, and then like, did you ever like, you went to like Project Blow, like?
I did. My pops brought me there like in probably like 98 or 99.
That's crazy.
Which was like, you know what I'm saying? Like my pop's an Indian dude. I'm like this little kid. You go over there, it's nothing but black fools and dreads. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yeah, we went there and shit, yeah.
Were you just like, I want to go there, and your dad, or did your dad know about it?
No, I told him I wanted to go when we was in LA visiting and shit, and he was like, he knew about a lot of shit though, but he didn't know about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't know about that. My homies had put me on to that, and like they're older brothers, and I was like, when like my whole shit was gangster rap. That introduced me to a whole other thing, and then by the time we were 14 years old, we was eating mushrooms and rapping and
like eating mushrooms and you're listening to Micah 9 and you're like, I think like a new chamber just unlocked in my
wait
brain.
a minute, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
whoa,
come on, you know what I'm saying? And then when you really went and got to know those cats, and then you're like, whoa, they from the J's, and then like, you know what I'm saying? All of that, like getting to understand that when I came out here was on my own was a whole thing.
Well,
but
I always say that was like one of the things that like people got really wrong about, I think, when they would write about West Coast rap, where they would write about like Project Blowed as though it was like this completely other thing from like the death row, but they all grew up within 20 blocks of each other, and there was a lot of
Snoop Dogg, right?
Yeah.
I fucked Snoop head up. We hanging out, and I'm like, I bet you ain't heard this. And he's like, what's this? And I played him a song of him and Ganja K. And he's like, man, I used to come to Ganja K when I was on the run. And, he had the mask and all this and that. And like, all of that, bro. Corrupt is from The Good Life.
Yeah.
Corrupt went over there. Like, all of them have a lot of respect. Warren G, all of them got a lot of respect for Freestyle Fellowship, because that's like the king of styles. So when you a kid and you listening to rap, my favorite rappers was probably Scarface, Ice Cube, Spice One, MC8. This is when I'm like really, really young.
Yeah.
Not even double digits. And then when I started meeting fools that were into hip hop, I'm listening to Dell and Hyro and Freestyle Fellowship and CVE, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. So it opened my mind up into like more I don't know, musical side of
So are
rap.
you like reading magazines? You watching like MTV Raps constantly?
All of that. I was always like that, and my mom kept everything. So if you like come to my place now, it's literally a museum. I got like all of my old Source magazines I kept. My mom kept all my CDs. I got all my toys. I got certain posters. I got.
My
mom threw them all away.
We got everything.
I know you must have had a lot of
shit.
Yeah, you probably had a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And I remember coming out here and always going when Rhino Records closed.
Rhino Records.
I remember when it closed. That was like 99, 2000. I bought so many tapes and CDs for $1, and I would just anything like back then. You might not know who the artist is, but if the cover
was good,
you would buy it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Totally. And that's how you would find out about shit. Or you would read a Source magazine and be like, damn, I like the artwork of this ad. It'd be like some no-name dude from Rap A Lot, but I'd be like,
I'm gonna listen to
tap in. You know what I'm saying?
When you came out to LA and like
I was young.
saw the like freestyle fellowship and like Project Bloat and everything, like did you then and there decide like, all right, this is where I'm gonna live, this is where I'm gonna move out to and stay the rest of my life?
My whole family was out here, and I was always be out here like, all the time. But no, not really. Like I just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At those days, I'd be in van and just be focused on what me and my homies were doing, and being a part of a crew and 4 Elements and all of that. But then when the street shit came in, you gotta understand, like, without trying to incriminate or do anything too crazy on camera, it's a port city. Let me just say that. It's a port city. There's a lot of structured influence of some things, and that kind of, those hip hop days ended by the time we were 15, because once you were 16, you would get recruited by to do so and so, and that just switched everything. So everything was gangster shit from after 16 onward, and then my older relatives here were like, man, that shit over there corny. You need to come out here. Certain series of events pushed me to be out here, and then I never left. You know what I'm saying? The neighborhood I ended up over here, I was like, shit, I was coming out here though already with my parents would be like this. You can go with them, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Indian families, we all hang out with our relatives and shit like that. You go there, and my relatives were like Indian and Hispanic, and they're all scattered from here. I had one relative here, and it was from Compton. It was actually from T-Flats, but he got killed. But they were all ended up out here and in San Diego, and I'd go out there and basically at a very young age, 16, 17, and then my homies that I met from music, you know, I was fortunate to meet like Billboard, and this is like, and all the dudes that were, you know, forming Black Wall Street at the time. And I always say that the neighborhood that I ended up at, like I became blessed to be from that neighborhood. Like it's like I got drafted to the Lakers. Like shit, how I got fortunate enough to be from Kendrick Hood, Faux Band, Hoodies, Problem. Like now look at us, Wally the Sensei, Chef Boy. It's something in our section. RJ, 100%. Earl Swavey, YS, my group, Meet the Whoops. You name one neighborhood in this little pocket that has that many rappers that are like, that are really good though and successful.
And R.I.P. to Key Riches too.
And R.I.P. my brother Key Riches.
Because I got the blessing to interview him before.
Come on, that was my little bro. I brought him on tour with me. You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace.
I always made sure I brought my young homies with me outside of this to show them it's more to it than just staying in this section and try to get your music out there further to then just be here, which I feel like, you know, I don't even know if I'm looked at as like, I know this is where I'm from and I represent this, but, you know, a lot of cats that are bigger than me, they can't leave the state. You know what I'm saying? You can't do a show, it's going to be, you know, crickets.
So how old was Kendrick when you first met him?
Oh, young. We was young. I can't even remember. But
what do you remember about him when he was really young?
He was just a humble young dude, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing.
Rapping already?
You know, I was with the older homies. I was hanging out, but you know, and then the next time I see him, he was rocking to 30,000 people. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I remember seeing him at Heads Up, going to get his hair cut and shit like that. Just, you know, you remember faces and stuff like that. But I always grew up I always hung out with like the fools that was 10 years older than me though. But when he started rapping and stuff, then we was, you know, paying attention more and everything. And then that shit just.
What do you think it is about Compton that has like been such a hub for music?
Well, I just think it all goes back to that man Eazy-E, you know, you know, the legendary singer Cocaine. He broke it down to me on YG one day when we were sitting down, and it all came from like $100,000 check, I believe. But like, you got to think, man, if it wasn't for Eric Wright, none of this would be where it's at. That put the spotlight on Compton, which really put the spotlight on LA. You know, and back to the Project Bloat thing, it's like because that put such a spotlight on gangster rap that other things weren't like, where people just thought LA was all lowriders and gangster shit, but there was also hip hop shit going on too. So I feel like the city's always been diverse.
Yeah.
Like, what would you, where would you put somebody, like, what would you say, like, a Volume 10 or like an Alcoholic stands with you?
We just did a big piece. The Alcoholics are incredible. Yeah,
Right,
like,
but is it gangster rap or is it, because it's like,
or it's like King T.
There
like,
you go.
It's perfect. It's like somewhere in between. Like he's Liquid
Yeah.
Family, but he's kind of doing he's kind of
so
a
what
pioneer.
would you
gangster
say
rap.
I am if you were to put me in the, like, would I be fall under the King T thing? Because it's like you got hip hop shit,
Yeah.
or would you? But then
Yeah,
you,
you
got
and King. I
gangsta
feel like
shit.
actually maybe you're the heir to King T.
Yeah, maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the beautiful part about LA is that it's like you could know somebody that goes to work every single day, hardworking person, does his thing, great at his whatever he does, but they're also a member. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
right.
it's like that's LA in a nutshell. So it's like you're,
Look at Terrace Martin. He's one of the most.
yeah.
That's the face of jazz. Look
Yeah.
at Kamasi, but these
Yeah.
dudes is from sections and streets. And,
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I don't even think half the world knows Kendrick from where he's from.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
about
Deep
They just
down.
think Compton.
They just
but
think
like, you
Compton,
don't know,
but they
yeah,
don't
you
really
from the West.
know. You know, like
The West, man. And
like
I'm
I
telling-
explained it to my parents. Like when I go over there, like I be in his area.
Yeah.
And they
So
be
you
like,
in-
yeah. They know it's
So look at
they know.
Yeah.
My parents love him.
look at his
They're-
hat. Like
Yeah,
look at Kendrick's
exactly.
hat in his
Like-
first couple of photos, right? He's wearing the dub.
Come on.
like-
Yeah.
A lot of that shit after the pop, I was like circling around and shit too, because they were like, I would pop up in old ass photos and shit. Like that. Like, you know what I mean? And all of that though is just to say, yeah, we have a very special section. We're very fortunate, and I don't know, it must be something in the water, you know?
Tell me about
Yeah.
the pop out. What was that experience like?
That was crazy because, you know, I just got the call, and then it was like, yeah, you finna be a part of it.
How
And
soon before did you get the call?
like a week before,
Yeah.
maybe like, a week before. And then I was like, I called the homies and I was like, I'm gonna pop out with the Whoops.
Yeah.
And we formed Meet the Whoops kind of as a group. You know what I'm saying? That all just happened like right then and there.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, I feel like we had the best stage presence out of any of the opening acts because we came out there in uniform and people were like, oh shit, these must be the
These must be the troopers.
These guys, the guys
Yeah.
from Kendrick's Hood or something. You know what I mean? It was like,
Even me,
Oh, shit.
I was walking in as you guys were performing, and so I was like, oh, like, cause it was just a song.
it's just one
It,
song.
it was Meet the Whoops, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're making that the group name. I was like, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? So I saw it happen in real time, but also like you said, uniform, the stage presence, and I'm like, yo,
Well, it was
Worthy's
Jay
behind
Worthy
this.
and the Whoops.
Yeah.
And then like one of the homies was like, so what's up, blood? We just the homies in red or something? And I was like, nah. What? I'm like, look, I got booked for this shit, so
Yeah.
I'ma bring y'all.
yeah. But then we formed it into a group name, and then that's that's
Yeah.
coming together. We
Yeah.
we actually signed a deal with a major for that.
Wow.
And,
Who
the album
officially-
is produced entirely by Hit Boy.
Fire. Oh, hit.
It's gonna be cool, man.
That's
And
dope.
Pro Club also is gonna be involved as far as the production, for film production.
That's super fucking.
Yeah.
Okay, so who officially is in the group? Because I know it came out
YS.
as some, and then now it's not everyone anymore.
No. Slum in there. Don't. Yeah. Slum in there is YS, Slum, Mari, Pop Out, Hit a J3, and myself.
Okay.
But as you know, I always looked at Meet the Whoops as like a movement, like how Wu-Tang is. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
I feel like Chef
Whoops.
Boy is like an unofficial kind of like member in
Who
the
is?
Chef Boy.
Chef Boy is,
Of like-
is Meet the Whoops to me.
Exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying. Like to me, it's like
Hey, Chef Boy, whether you like it or not, you Meet the Whoops. Wally is too, man.
yeah, Wally too. That's what
You
I'm
know
saying.
what I'm saying? We all from the section. We all,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, hey, but
That does make it like Wu-Tang because it's like
Yeah, and that could be different, like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Be like Sons of Man.
Sons of Man, GP Woo,
Yeah,
you know, Killer Bees,
Kill
I don't know,
Army. Yeah.
Kill Army. Then you had the same shit with Dipset. You had like the Purple City Bird Gang.
Bird
Then
Gang.
you had,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So who
Gang,
knows where it goes? But I was just something I originally wanted to do is just showcasing my homies on like production that I think might not necessarily go on.
Yeah.
And might get overlooked if I just put them on what the current sound is in LA. But if I team them with a Hit Boy or a Harry Fraud or an Alchemist, it's now something different. You know what I'm saying?
And strength in numbers and just like, you know, seeing that like, oh shit, like they're all getting along. They're all like in one place at one time. You know what I'm saying? It just feels bigger. You know what I'm saying? And then for all of them to have their own
individual
careers and stories and all in different directions too, because like you had YS at Alamo and doing his thing on the solo tip. Then you also had J3, who's been a force in the city too.
Oh man, and on
you know what I'm
that
saying?
album.
And then Trill being one of the most talented, like versatile artists in the city that, you know, it's like people just got to hear him. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know how that group got formed though? We all just was at a studio and I was just called different homies from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I just put out a tape with like, that just showcased homies from different sections.
Yeah.
And then we did like one video and we did it here, right here. And we just put Meet the Whoops on there. And then all of a sudden people were like, oh, is this a group? And then we're like, I guess it's the 6 of us. You know what I'm saying? But there was like way more homies on the actual album too. So it was like, it was not intentional. It just happened.
It just
you know
happened.
But we all are like been friends for like, you know, 10 years plus. I know Slum since I lived on Brazil and Wilmington, way before rap was even like, you know, a thing that I thought was going to be successful. We was out there thugging, you know, when I was living with Face.
So as someone that's a participant but also kind of a scholar of kind of like West Coast music, why do you think the Pop Out was like such a significant moment in
I think
music?
it brought the city together. I think for a long time, people always look at LA as like our politics hold us back from working with each other. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you always hear that like, look at it in Atlanta, they all work with each other. You know what I'm saying? You've heard that for years.
For sure,
right?
for sure.
But that's bullshit. They all got their politics too. Not everybody work with each other.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think that brought the city together and we stood together. You know what I mean? That They Not Like Us isn't just a Drake diss. That was like, that was just like this
Statement.
was it was just like
unity.
It was a unity to bring the city together and all sides. You know what I'm saying? From both sides. You know, from the red to the blue.
Yeah.
To you know, NBA. It was just the whole city was there.
Yeah, it was like us. He's talking about us.
Yeah,
like, he's
us,
talking
you
about
know,
all of us.
LA, you know, and then just the video, you know, I was parking in my car and walking, belling through neighborhoods in Compton that I would never do that. And it was like, it was cool, you know?
Yeah.
And I'd love to see more of that. I'd love to see more unity. You know, I've always been one on that, you know, since the day of me and G Worthy, you know, me and Perico putting that project together and me bringing my homies over to the Broadways, you know, and they were like, his older homies was like, man, we ain't never had, you know, y'all over here like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, let's come together, man. We got bigger enemies to fight out there than each other, you know what I'm saying? So,
what do you think could be done to kind of facilitate more of that?
I think keep events going like the pop-outs, you know what I'm saying? And I think one thing about that is music, and that's been like that for years in the culture, is that music does bring everybody together and kind of overlook, like, you know, all right, yeah, I might be from here and there, but we doing music, and that also, you know, because you always gonna have the homies that's like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody always will have a crash out moment.
You always are like, oh, I'm not with that. You know, I don't do music. I do this. You know what I'm saying? So there's always that. But I think for the better cause and what we doing and trying to grow, I think just more events like that. I loved the events that you did early on, putting different people
LA,
together. You know, what was that one I
Don't
did
Come
with
to LA.
y'all?
Don't Come
I
to
did
LA.
an
Yeah,
early
You
one
performed it. Yeah.
with y'all, and we came there deep. You
Yeah,
know how
man.
I move deep.
That was a
I'm
great
coming
time.
with
Y'all all
30
come
home.
deep.
Yeah.
We always come deep, you know?
Yeah, that was a great time. That was a thing too, that we would see so many, like, you know, different people there, you know, and like a good mix of, you know, we've had like Skrillex there to Dom Kennedy, J305. We had you
AC
there.
Lone was
Yeah.
there. Y'all had all
Yeah.
type of shit. Dame Funk.
Dame Funk, Shoreline, we had
Yeah.
Rucci in them, we had everybody like all in one, you know, place. I think Gibbs came
Wasn't
through.
Greedo at that one too?
No, he was locked up.
No, he was
I think.
locked up at the time. Yeah.
That man free now. Yo, me and Greedo got so much music together. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That people don't even know. And the production is like, I got Greedo on conductor shit. Like,
That's cool.
yeah,
You plan to drop it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. This next year is gonna be nuts. Like this, we haven't even talked about my debut solo album. That's like the main
That's different from the George album.
different than the George album.
Wow,
So
you a
like
busy man.
that George album not gonna come out till next year. The debut solo, I wanted to pay homage to the double disc. You know, I always felt the double disc was important to me when we were kids.
All right, like
Yeah.
before you get into it, all right, what are your favorite? What's the
Double
5
disc?
favorite double discs?
Well, I'm a guy. I got to give it to All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, and then I got to get it for Life After Death.
For sure.
But you know, it's deeper for me than that. So E40, The Element of Surprise, is a great double disc, and then I don't know. I don't really know if there's any other one that I would.
Wu-Tang Forever is up there, I would say.
Yeah, the Wu-Tang Forever.
Maybe
is a
Art of
double
War.
disc. Art of War by Bone Thugs.
Yeah, that
But
was-
those are all the ones I remember.
Yeah.
My top 3 were those.
Yeah.
What
But
about
Was a good
I'm
time
a
for the
big
double disc.
Wu-Tang fan, but
Yeah.
you know, Wu-Tang Forever what didn't like hit hard for me as a kid because I was still on the solo albums they had all put out and shit.
Yeah.
So
But
you
yeah.
were saying-
Anyways, the double disc album, man, I'm giving people a double album, you know, and instead of releasing it at all at once, it's gonna be 2 different dates. We do 2 different parties, all type of shit. But the features on there is crazy. You're coming with a documentary. Yeah, and I'm excited. It's been a long time in the works because people will be like, well, what do you mean your debut solo album? But if you pay attention, I've only put out collaborative albums, whether it's London Drugs, that's a group, whether it's me and Larry June, 2 Peas in a Pod, whether it's G Worthy, whether it's me and Currency, whether it's me and Alchemist. It's always been with a producer or one producer or one producer and a rapper. This is my first studio album with a label, with a big budget, where we really finna make like some dents.
Cool. What label are you doing with?
This is with Empire.
Yeah.
You know, I've been with Empire, but it's crazy that, you know, for so many years, I always felt like I needed to be at a major, and I'd go knocking on the doors when I didn't be in New York. I'd be Def Jam and playing my shit, and they wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
You know, they just wouldn't get it until Griselda popped off, and then they were like, oh, now labels are kind of like, oh, okay, this is a genre or whatever. But when I was doing it, it wasn't really a genre. I was just rapping over loops and getting, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Yams was the only person that understood it. Yams, that's why Yams believed in me. Yams gave me like the courage to like actually be. I was like, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? I love making music, but I was trying to push Earl Swavey as I'm like, Swavey, whatever it is, we getting you through the door. Everything else will come after.
R.I.P. Swavey.
My little
Rest in
brother.
peace.
Yeah.
And when he went to jail, it's kind of when my career started to blossom. Now Empire is like a major.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have the major.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On your terms too.
On my terms. And
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And I've been able to own my material, own my masters. You know, I might not be the most famous, might not have the biggest Instagram followers, but my checks is nice and healthy, and I'm able to live how I want to, and my vinyl sales, and I kind of figured out a little niche market, and it keeps growing, and that's what I'm concerned.
I feel like Alchemist and Griselda really like cracked that code.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
We all, I became a part of Griselda in 2016. That was all at Alchemist House. So it's like, I'm like
I remember you saying that, like, you're like,
Yeah.
I've been a part of Griselda. I was like, that blew my mind. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
but
There's still talks of this album. Maybe it comes
Yeah.
out as a Griselda release. Maybe it doesn't.
yeah.
Gun leaving it up to me, however I want to brand it. And
How did you get connected with Griselda and Gun and them being in Buffalo and you being
Al's
out here?
house. Everyone, Al, we were all there,
Yeah.
I remember him showing me at that time. He was like obsessed with Gun. He was like, "Look at his face when he raps. He like loved it."
Al?
Al was like, "Yeah, he was like obsessed." He was
Look at his face
like,
when he raps.
he was just
I like
in
it
it.
too.
Like Gun told, like me and Al were working on Fantasy Island,
Yeah.
and Conway and Gun were working on their shit. They just signed to Shady,
Yeah.
and Shady, Al got a great relationship
Yeah.
with them. So he called me. He's like, "Yo, Conway and Gun fuck with you. Come down here." So boom, and then we started doing records, and then next thing you know, they're like, "Yo, we want you to be the direct support on our tour." That was the first tour I ever went on. It was the Griselda on Steroids tour. So we started from I'm day uno with Griselda. You know what I'm saying?
That's super dope.
In terms of Al, like what's the best bit of advice that he's given you?
Damn.
He's kind of a deceptive guru. Like he gives good advice.
Yeah, he's the first to put me up on vinyl, like to really you know what I mean, and that was a game changer. But I think I don't know what the advice is. I think I'm just observant of what he does, and I'm like, and I have been, and I love his blueprint. You know what I mean, and I think. I think we all need to take a page out of his book because he's done it on such a level. Like, his album with Gibbs last year was nominated for best art. What was that,
for
2 years
Grammy,
ago?
Yeah, for a Grammy. Yeah.
All independently though, through
Yeah.
Empire. You know what I'm saying? It's about ownership at the end of the day, man.
Yeah.
If you create your own wave and you don't need, my whole thing is this: spend less money so you don't gotta recoup it.
Yeah.
So if you already got a fan base that and they're gonna buy and they're gonna stream, try to make everything with as little bread as you possibly can. And I think that's the code for me.
Well, also, if you sign with a major, like you never end up recouping.
You never
like no
recoup.
one, they'll do crazy math on you. So no matter how much money you make,
Look,
Is
you'll
it
still
the
be
interest
we're gonna get
on
you
the money?
the billboard on Sunset for 3 months. You're like, damn, that's $300,000. They're like, exactly. You're never gonna recoup. But like, was it necessary? Did that drive the streams? I don't know. I don't even like doing digital marketing. For the first time ever, I'm letting Empire do digital marketing and certain shit because I'm like, but I do see that it does maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
It
all.
can be targeted to like, I get what you mean because it's a fear of like, I want people who fuck with me to fuck with me. I don't want anybody to be tricked into
Forced.
liking me.
Yeah.
I don't want shit to be like.
But we're so busy
Yeah.
as people. Like I'm a Jay Worthy fan, but I could possibly miss a release. And so if
Yes.
it's
Totally.
if it's put in my algorithm again, I'll be like, oh shit, how'd I miss this?
Yeah.
Right,
My
right.
friend Oliver has a brand called Rose in Good Faith, and he gave me good advice on it. He's like, you should only do digital marketing when you have something to sell. So if
There
you're
you
selling
go.
the vinyl,
Right.
then that's smart to do digital marketing because you can make your money.
Got
off
it.
of
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you met Yams in 2012 in South by Southwest.
South by.
and then
Hell
you were
yeah.
like that. I was at that show, the infamous ASAP
The
show
ASAP,
where
the
there was like a
squabble
riot.
at the,
I was at that show. Yeah.
He was the man. I couldn't get in, and he was like, "Man, take my shit," and I got me in, and then like I rocked with them, and then I started sending them records, and like I said, Swavey was the focus, but then when I dropped this one record with Sean, and that's when we kind of started developing that sound, the London Drugs shit. And he was behind it all the way. I mean, I was supposed to come out on Lamborghini Records, and when Bro passed, A-Track ended up,
Putting it out.
A-Track, Fool's Gold,
Yeah, right.
put it
that
out.
was
And
great.
at that time, that was a great situation to be at. It was like
Oh, yeah.
Kid Cudi, Action Bronson was putting shit out, Danny
Yeah.
Brown.
Danny Brown, yeah, put out True
You
Blood.
know, he was doing those Lucy
Yeah.
tapes.
Yeah.
It was dope. And the day off Fool's Gold Festival was the shit.
I remember seeing that and being like, damn, like, who is London Drugs? Why they're with all the cool
you wanna
people
know what
instantly?
the most fucked up thing ever is too is that through marriage on the Canadian side, all of a sudden we find out that we related. Like in 20...
You and A-Track?
Me, A-Track, and
What?
Dave from Compton.
Random.
Yes, and I was like,
Wow.
yo, what? And we're like, put our and I was like, that
Wow.
is crazy.
That is insane.
Yeah, so like, who would have known? We didn't know that. I
Yeah.
just pulled up at his house because I was like, I got to figure out how to put this tape out, you
Yeah.
know? And shout outs to him and Dave. They're very helpful. I'd say it was Yams, Dave and A-Track, and then Alchemist.
Yeah.
Those were the guys that were like very
Instrumental.
and gave me my push.
How do you feel like, I mean, beyond just being likable, how did you like become, like, you've managed to work with probably everybody good in the history of the last 10 years of music.
Right. I don't know. People always, like Estevan said to somebody, they always ask me, how does he do it? And he was like, even if I told you how he does it, you think you could do it?
I need you to write a How to Win Friends and Influence People.
I don't know, man. I'm just me, bro. I think, I think that some of it comes from, like, I think Quick and George and them, they respected my, like, my knowledge of music. But I think it just come down to just being a genuine person and just being you. And, you can't force that type of shit. So,
I think you look out for people a lot, actually. Like, I think people don't know a lot of the stuff. Like, even like me knowing you, you know what I mean? Like, you'll always like think about other people like in a genuine way.
Yeah, like I just want to see other people win. I want to put people together. Like for a long time, I was, I guess, technically A&Ring. But like, I put Alchemist and Larry together. That you know what I mean? Cardo and Larry, you know, things like that. But I just did it for the love of the game until I got my first role as an A&R with Quick and Jason Martin on Chupacabra, which is allowing me now to wear a different hat as a curator and come in and put stuff together. But I don't care about what the title is. I just like to do the shit because I love to.
Real ones know, though, that, like, you're the one putting a lot of the plays in motion. I just wish the world knew because it's like, you guys wouldn't even believe the half. I hope you get into it in the doc.
Yeah, in the doc, I think we do. I think it just shows me in a lot of different rooms and putting stuff together. But yeah, I don't think a lot of people do. And like I said, I never really tripped off of like social media or trying to be famous. I love music and I love my homies and I just want to see good shit get done. You know what I'm saying?
I think I remember you saying once about how when you were little, you saw like Suge Knight executive produced almost everything and it was an inspiration.
He did. Yeah, for sure. And I learned a lot from Suge.
Yeah, I was going to say...
I got a history with Suge.
Yeah,
I got a history with a lot of people.
Tell us a Suge story.
Suge has a good side.
Suge would always be late, like a motherfucker. He would be like
he'd be late.
Hey man, meet me at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I always used to go to the Beverly Hills Hotel with him, and he'd walk up in that motherfucker with his cigar, and they'd be like, excuse me, could you put that out? And he'd be like, you tell him Simon's here. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? He used to tell me like, man, you know how much money I spend here? He was like, I used to stay in the presidential suite for 6 months at a time. Like, you know how expensive the presidential suite is? I believe it's like $30 a night if you get it just on like a normal. But Suge gave me a lot of game. And I respect his entrepreneurship. I mean, you can't not, man. Death Row, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Was definitely, people always talk about what's the most influential label. I think now it's TDE, but for that time, it was Death Row. You know
then
what I'm saying?
Who's to say there's a TDE without a Death Row? You know,
right? Everybody learned from Suge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe he had some more guerrilla tactics at the time, and over time that is different, and artists are treated a little bit different. Not to say he did anything wrong, but times have changed, and contracts are just a little bit different now.
Yeah.
Even majors, they're trying to switch over to being distributors. Even they're trying to open distribution branches, and because if you got a wave, why would you? Unless the only thing I think is good for a major is like they can build your celebrity up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Now and then now
If you want to be a pop star, it's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now
If you're
you know,
Sabrina Carpenter, it makes
yeah.
sense to sign to a label.
Yeah, and like,
label,
you
but-
know, if you want that, and then now you can charge X amount for your shows. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't usually work for like, I feel artists that have like kind of a regional set. Like, and I don't mean that as like a insult, because I think there's something cool about being regional in a sense. But
Right.
it feels like when a LA rapper signs to a major label, it almost never ends out well.
Well,
Yeah,
because they want to
yeah.
change the artist.
Yeah. Well, they want you to sound like Atlanta
yeah.
half the time.
That ain't it.
They
don't-
already don't like you before they sign your ass, but they see the potential in turning you into something that they want you to be.
And that's the craziest
And that's the
shit
craziest part. You didn't like my ass when you signed me, so why you give me all this money and now you got me in contract and you won't let me be who I need to be? It doesn't make any sense, and it's
Some
only
bullshit.
majors that do that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the people that's running it don't really understand the music that they're going for.
Well, then someone gets fired, and
Yeah.
then it
Musical
gets all
chairs
fucked up.
happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All of that. Yeah.
Have you been offered any major deals that you denied?
I've had some offers come through, and right now, you know, I'm comfortable in my. I won't say that I deny them because Empire's so cool. They're like, you can keep. You
What
can
we
go
got and-
go do that.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw Griselda do, which is the best
Yeah.
situation. Like, so for example, we're gonna go meet the Whoops is gonna go with a major. George Clinton, I'm gonna go with a major. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, the other ones that I see fit best to keep with Empire, we're gonna do that. You know.
Since you do so much A&R work now, and also have like such an eye for talent, are you looking to start your own label? Like
You know what? That's
subsidiary
a
or-
good question.
Right, I'm surprised you don't already have one.
I mean, I have an imprint at Empire, but I've never really put out
Jay
an
Whitney and
artist.
Friends.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like all the albums I put out are kind of like me signing an artist or putting it out because it comes out on my label.
Yeah.
But I rap on them.
You rap on them too.
Yeah, so maybe I would like to do that in the future. I think I still got to get through this next year of run of all my
as a
albums,
solo
and then I'm gonna
artist,
find
yeah.
an artist and
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one out. But it got to make sense. Like,
Yeah.
I actually got some things in the works, and it won't be what you expect. It's not gonna be rap. Yeah.
Have you had any like inspiration or anything to like push an artist the way you pushed Earl since he's left? Have you had anybody in
I
mind
mean,
since
Meet the
then?
Whoops. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was, you know, I was kind of doing the same formula as just taking my connections and bringing it. You know, but I'm gonna give it to Earl. Like, Yams was already on. Earl was already on Yams' radar. You know, I was just making sure that we was making sure Earl was there. Earl was with me every day when I was living in motels and thugging it. He was with me every day, and we were just whatever we got to do, we got to be there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Let's say one thing we do every episode is the unpopular truth.
Oh yeah.
What is your unpopular truth?
Well, my unpopular truth, a lot of people feel like physical copies are clutter and they don't like having that in the home, but I think having something tangible is important. So I'm a big collector of VHS, Laserdisc, CDs, vinyls. I love that. I come from the era where we buy magazines now.
Cassette tapes.
Cassette tapes, magazines are going out of print, you know, and they're taking certain movies off of streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And
I don't
editing
know.
them down.
What
Yeah.
was your first hard copy CD you ever owned?
Oh, I remember it. The Predator, Ice Cube.
Wow.
Yep,
That's dope.
That's dope.
yep. I went and bought it myself.
What about the first vinyl?
First vinyl, I don't know because my dad had all of them. But
Oh,
like
okay,
the
okay.
first vinyl, I didn't really start. I inherited a bunch of my pop's vinyl.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I started really buying vinyl, to be honest with you, until like this year.
Oh, wow.
Like, and
Yeah.
my whole thing is just collecting like 12-inch rap singles.
It's cool.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I just
That's
like
fire.
to get all the rap singles.
Yeah, and some of them, I mean, some of them have like no cover, but some of the ones
The
have
ones that have
amazing
covers.
covers, and like no one ever
Yeah.
saw them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Or, like
They're
people
great.
saw them at the time,
And
but
they're
like,
cheap.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I have
you
a
can
bunch
go buy
of
them for like
random,
$5.
Totally.
random Rockefeller like singles that is. It's like it just has the big
But so many of
R.
these record
Yeah.
stores went up. I remember
Yeah.
this place in Baton Rouge. It was called the Baton Rouge Treasure Chest, and I bought Jay-Z and Jazzo, Hawaiian Sophie.
Oh.
Like, it's like
See,
kind of fucked up and
that's
water damage, but it was
Yeah,
like
but who cares?
It had
That's
probably been there since like
crazy.
That's a-
1989.
That's a
you know?
piece of history.
Fire,
It closed
Yeah.
right
bro.
after that. Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on.
Shout out Treasure
Come on.
Chest.
That's dope.
So say we do like a lightning round too. What
on.
is the biggest misconception about Compton?
I think people think it's like all bad, you know, it's all dangerous. Or out of towner might be like, yo, you come to Compton, you can't wear this color or that, or nah, you gotta keep your head on a swivel if you in those situations or if you put yourself. But you know, people gonna respect civilians and let you go on about your day. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You could go to Chipotle.
It's really a
You
lovely
can get
place.
robbed
can.
anywhere. I almost got robbed in El Sereno by a 13-year-old.
Just don't go. Just don't go to Smitty's liquor store or you know what I'm saying.
What's your top 5 West Coast albums?
All right, I ain't never even thought about that, but let's go. All right, I'm gonna go with Death Certificate. All right. Ooh.
Why that particular Cube record?
I mean, that Cube record to me, just the storytelling, the life side, the death side, that's when he got with the NOI and he got with Cam. There was a crazy message, and then you had records like Steady Mobbing. You know,
Yeah.
there's a clip out now on my Instagram, or maybe it's on YouTube. I think just Instagram, and me and Snoop just reciting that whole verse. Like, that shit was just so influential. You know, bootleg T-shirts of the month, talking about selling bean pies, and it was just ill.
Nappy
And then-
Dugout.
I grew up on bean pies.
Yeah, the craziest diss record maybe, you know, at the
Yeah.
time. Second West Coast album that I'm gonna put up there. I mean, a lot of people don't need to, but I think Warren G, the G-Funk era,
Very
is
underrated.
very
Yeah.
underrated. You know,
They said it saved Def Jam.
it
Yeah.
did save
whole-
It was
Def
like
Jam.
Russia associated labels. Yeah.
You know, we gotta go up to the Bay. So for me, you know, Spice One, the first album, the just self-titled Spice One album, was incredible to me. So what is that, 3?
That's 3.
I'm gonna go number 4. I'm gonna probably do Brother Lynch Hung, 24 Deep.
Wow.
Why Brother Lynch on?
Man, Lynch to me was his rap style. It was just so raw. And I was like, when I heard it, I was like, man, there's no glitz or glamour in this. It's just straight gangbanging. But the samples
Yeah.
were really dope. And then, I don't know, I'm going to just throw them in and tie them in together. I got to go with Doggy Style and The Chronic. Yeah.
What are your top 5 Compton albums though?
Ooh.
All right. Ah, man, this is kind of crazy to me because everyone gonna say, "Quit." For me, my favorite DJ Quick album is Balance and Options. All right, which is probably an unpopular opinion.
Why that one?
Oh man, just the Quick's groove on that and the Rogers groove is my favorite. Mossberg was maybe he was introduced on Rhythmalism, but there's just a lot of records on there that I really loved. And yeah, I don't know, Balance and Options. Let me see. All right, MC8, We Come Strapped. Love that album. Let me see. Hold on here. Let me go here. I'm going to have to put Dot to Pimp a Butterfly.
T-Pap, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to go with The Game documentary.
Oh my God, that was my shit in 8th
You know what I'm
grade.
saying?
He was a
I
game girl.
signed my yearbook Games Girl in 8th grade.
That album is so
It was
good.
so good.
Yeah. It is.
Like, this is how we do. I knew every word.
My unpopular truth is that Doctor's Advocate's better.
It's a good album too.
It's a very good album.
It's a good album.
It's a very good
His
album.
first two albums is
They're
great.
Yo, One Night is like
No, those are good albums.
Old
yeah.
English.
Old English.
Great song.
What the one with Nas on there is crazy.
Yeah, Letter to the King.
Yo.
Yeah.
One Blood was a great single.
One Blood.
Oh yeah. Was Old English on that?
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was like-
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the
weird
one
song
where
with Busta
My Life
Rhymes.
is on there with Lil
Yeah,
Wayne?
funny.
Crazy because
Yeah.
you know I live with Game's whole family. So like I live with
Oh.
Face, it is dad, and like I lived on
wow.
Brazil and Wilmington. So
When you said Brazil and Wilmington, I was like, that's a really small street. Like,
no, I lived with Face
Wow.
and Game's pops. Yeah,
Wow.
for years. What else I finna say? I guess I don't know. I'm gonna have to go. And I'm probably not thinking because the easy cop out is just saying The Chronic.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is that album. It's
Yeah.
too influential. So yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go with those.
wow.
Okay, and then
All right, let's see what else you got for me,
top
man.
3 funk albums.
All right, Parliament, Mothership Connection. Damn, I don't know the name of the goddamn album, but I'm gonna just put whatever the SOS band album that had all the shits on it.
Outstanding
you
and
know, What's it called?
wait, what did you say?
The SOS band.
Oh no, sorry.
And then the Gap Band album that
Gap
had
Band.
like Outstanding and all that shit. Those right there for me.
What is the most soulful song of all time?
Oh, damn. I'm gonna have to go with like Ooh Baby Baby by Smokey Robinson. Or like the Stylistics Makeups to break. I don't know anything from Stylistics, but I guess Ooh Baby Baby is kind of crazy to me.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one is just like,
Yeah.
so
Can't go wrong with it.
yeah.
Top 3 films.
Ooh, all right,
Jeff got some shit for you.
man. Well, I'm a real cinephile, but I'm gonna go with Menace to Society. All right, it was so influential to me.
Yeah.
But then I'll take that as my top like hood film. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go with Back to the Future.
I like
Right.
that. I like that.
I liked Back to the
Yeah.
Future.
Honestly, like I think a great movie that people don't
just-
give credit for because they're like, oh, it's a kid's movie, but there's a lot of deep
it's
shit
not-
going on.
it's
in
Yeah,
not
that
there
movie.
deep
is,
shit,
and it's so
just
impacted.
and you can watch it like when I get on the
Totally.
airplane, I like to watch movies I've already watched before because it's like comforting.
It's like comforting.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
always watch Back to the Future.
No surprises.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
Damn, man.
I also like the story of your dad put you on Pulp Fiction, and then but before you could see it, he made you read the
Yeah.
screenplay.
Read the
He was
script.
serious.
I would almost put like Pulp as like number 3, man. I could,
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, I think that's probably Tarantino's best movie. But no, what am I doing here? I gotta put in I'm gonna go with Clockers as 3.
Okay.
I gotta give Spike a movie.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Who would star about you in the movie about your life?
Oh, I don't know, man.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah,
Who would you want to play you?
I don't know.
I feel like the
man.
guy from Slumdog
Nobody
Millionaire.
looks-
What's his name?
Yeah, I don't know.
Good.
give me some. I don't know,
What,
but like,
Dev Patel, I
if he
think is
doesn't
his
have
name?
to look like me, I
Yeah.
would be like, shit. Play. I would choose the best. My favorite 2 actors. I don't know, like Denzel or you know what I'm saying. And so, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. All right. What are you most proud of?
shit, man. Just turning my life around and like really having the discipline to become an artist and do this shit. Because it could have went another way and it went this way, and I'm thankful for that. So I think I'm most proud of turning, Jay Worthy into not just this street dude, but into this musician, and now I don't know, a curator or whatever you want to call it.
Are there any dream collabs left that you haven't done?
Yes, Stevie Wonder and Charlie Wilson.
Wow.
Oh, that's gonna be dope.
And
Charlie Wilson.
and Erykah Badu, and Mariah Carey.
Wow.
What is the secret to being a successful hustler?
You gotta get out there and get it. You gotta be persistent. You can't give up on shit. You might even gotta be a little bit annoying to people sometimes to get something done. You gotta put your pride aside. You gotta press lines. You know what I'm saying?
Professional line presser.
Professional line presser.
I know about it.
Soft press, but press still.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, 20 years, and 50 years?
Somewhere where nobody can find me with no phone, no more stress. You know what I'm saying? Ducked off, you know?
I always said Mr. Morale was like kind of Kendrick found the new American dream, which is like, wow, you got to be that rich to have no phone for 3 months.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I know I made it. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
good luck getting a hold of me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't want to have to answer calls or talk to anybody after a certain point, because like my favorite shit to do is just get on my bike and ride and put my headphones on, or like, you know, go shoot hoops with one of my homies. I don't like hanging out in big groups of people. Never have.
Yeah, Riff Raff was underrated for his TikTok, the Vine, where he was like, all I want to do is blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
Yes, for sure. That's what I want to do.
It's like
Riff Raff.
Yeah, and Riff Raff, he was had some wisdom to him.
Yeah.
Underrated. All right, yeah. What can people look out for next?
Solo album, Once Upon a Time. You know what I'm saying? The double album. I think I got something for everybody on there. All your questions that people may wonder about the mysterious Jay Worthy. I ain't gonna give it all to you, but you're gonna watch the documentary, and that should answer itself. You know.
Well, thanks for coming through.
Thank y'all.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Jay Worthy.
Jay Worthy.
Yes, sir.